room? Why is nobody talking? Yo, so Lena, you just finished. I heard the video's going crazy. You guys crashed it.
It's on my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So Adam, if you don't, oh, sorry, Andrew. What happened was this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you heard Andrew. They did a video. Basically, Adam and them, they're married. They've been married for a while. They have a beautiful family. And basically one day, they decided to, basically Adam said, hey, hun, you go ahead and get a BBC by this guy. So they had a big black, insert her puss. And,
It was not in the video.
That's
true.
Pretty much what happened. And, thoughts, Andrew?
Well, I think I mentioned this on one of my previous podcasts. I said that I wouldn't personally do that.
Bro.
But it's not my personal preference. But I want to make something clear. I'm really careful about what I say to people. I don't want to insult anybody. That's not who I am as a person. If that's their personal decision to make, then they can make their own personal decisions and do as they please. I'm not here to sit and say they shouldn't do it. All I can say is that I wouldn't personally do that. That's not something I would allow my woman to do. But perhaps I'm missing something. Maybe you can tell me why I'm wrong. I'm not sure.
Would you guys let your wife do that?
The thing that the most important piece of context that is missing is the fact that we already had been doing for, I mean, maybe 5-6 years, or really since the very beginning of our relationship. And, she is 32. She is a mother. Realistically, she's not going to be doing this forever. But we decided that it made a lot of sense for her to, seize upon the moment, the fact that she's still got her youth about her, and slurp up a black for the fucking paper, man.
He liked it. He liked watching the video.
Yeah, I was kind of turned on by it, I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry, one more time. Lena, right? Correct? Lena?
Lena, yes.
Lena, do you think that you have an emotional attachment to this man now, or like you literally wouldn't care what happened to him? Let's say, heaven forbid, something, I don't know, he got locked up and went to jail or something. Like, would you care, or would you literally have zero interest in him as an individual?
Feel for him as I would feel for like almost anyone I'd ever met who went to jail. But like, no offense, Jason, I see you as like a male sex doll. Like you were just
no emotional attachment to him whatsoever.
No, this is where I have my emotional attachment.
Okay, well then, if you're capable of keeping that divide, then I'm not here to insult you.
Right. So your brother Tristan was in my DMs, like really sincerely trying to convince me that I had made a very grave error, a massive mistake as a result of having let my wife shoot with another man. Myself personally, having been, a couple weeks removed from the actual incident happening, I don't really feel like I made a mistake. It feels like some pretty regular porn
WT
shit.
in the chat, man.
I was a little bit jealous at first. It's kind of a weird feeling knowing that your woman was in the arms of another man, even if it was only for a few hours. But it's interesting. You don't seem like you have as much of a real like moral issue with the act itself.
Well, I can give you my opinion on why I wouldn't ever do it. And I think the reason I wouldn't ever do it is because I believe that a man and a woman have a connection between them, and I think that connection is solidified by sexual exclusivity from the female's part, and I believe there's an energy cord between. And I think that once that's broken with another man, I do believe there's a degree of the connection which is damaged. And I think that when the relationship is good, perhaps you will not feel it, but when the relationship is bad, or when arguments start to happen, or you start to get on each other's nerves, you might notice a slight difference in behavior, because I do also think that once the seal has been broken, I'll give you an example. The 4-minute mile was impossible to achieve, they believed, until one man ran the 4-minute mile, and then a bunch of people ran the 4-minute mile. So once the seal's been broken, for example, let's say your wife's sleeping with another man, the idea of sleeping with another man is not as intimidating as it once was. And perhaps the idea of sitting through an argument or sitting through a rough patch in a relationship and continuing to try to work it out, as opposed to just jumping on a new man, it might be less appealing than it once was previously. So I believe, personally, if my woman had already slept with another man, she's more likely to just give up on the relationship and sleep with another man again in a rough patch. That's my personal view.
Facts, chat. No.
Say again?
Why would I? I mean, I've never cheated on you, like even in the lowest terms of cheating, like responding to a DM from somebody or anything. Like I've never done any of that. Everything in our relationship has been out in the open. Like all my messages with the person that I worked with, I was like, hey, just so you know, like these are the messages. And like Adam has fucked about 200 women in front of me, and he cheated on me. So like,
Adam, that's terrible.
We all got our issues.
I'm still stuck on whether this was a whole ploy from the beginning or not. Like for me personally, I wouldn't give two fucks about any of this ADAM22 stuff had I not seen that interview where he was so against it, right? And now all of a sudden he's just the best advocate for it, pretty much trying to smut his girl out to whomever, wherever, however, and every comment, like congratulating her BBC sucking and all that. It's just, that's a weird, it don't add up. Something don't add up, man, but that, whatever. Big picture to me though, bro, is that you can have some clout, do some outrageous stuff like this, let your wife get smutted out, and literally be one of the most trending things on the internet. Got to the point where he's over here in a whole podcast with Andrew Tate's viral ass, dog. So it sends the wrong message to people in general, dog. So I'm not with it. But at the end of the day, they are porn stars, and this is what they do. I've heard that. I know it. I understand that perspective, right? But he wasn't with it. Right? He was not with it, bro. I know cuck's a cuck and smutting out your girl and all that, bro. Like he marches to a different creed. He's an anomaly in monogamy, whatever. Like most people don't walk by that tune, but he was not with it. He was not with it, bro. He said he don't know how he can handle watching this girl get, donkey and sucking other dick and all this, bro. And now all of a sudden he's just the biggest cheerleader for it, bro. Like it comes off as disingenuous. And, man, I just wish I was there, bro. Like, bro, you're lying, dog. You're capping and you're coming up with all this stuff to rationalize it, to make you feel better about it. But you sold your soul, bro. You sold your fucking soul, dog. You might be getting all the bag in the world, dog. But you sold your fucking soul, and it's going to ruin everything. I said I wasn't going to say nothing about it, but I can't help it, dog. I can't help it because you wasn't with it, bro. You wasn't with it, dog. All right, but let's let Tate get back to it, bro.
Just tell you, about a half hour ago, I was laying on the floor in the adjacent office with a large Italian shaking on top of my face. She does this thing called Brazilian face sitting.
He almost died.
It's going to appear on onlyplugtalk.com, which is our weekly podcast where we interview and then fuck a different girl every single week. And this girl was really cutting off my ability to breathe. And when I would grab her and try to move her off of my face, she would grab my hands and hold on to them so that I wasn't able to escape. And LENA was involved.
Thing to watch.
She was giving me during all this. And so I don't know, like, do you feel like that affects our connection at all? Because after having you shot with this guy, I can kind of understand why that doesn't matter to you, because you and the other guy don't really matter to me at this point.
I think my personal view is that it's very different for a woman than
Facts, bro. It's very different, but go ahead, Tate. It's extremely different, dog.
For a man, and I think that, and I hope I'm wrong, if your relationship reaches a rough patch, perhaps the idea of being with another man will be more tempting than it once previously was because the seal's already been broken. That's my personal view. I don't, with all due respect, care what you want to do with your own relationship. If it makes you happy, it should make you happy, and that's fine. And it's your decision to make. It's not my decision to make. I'm just telling you that I wouldn't do it. I can give you admiration for a degree to how well you've dealt with the pressure, I guess, or the hate or the backlash. I mean, you've handled it pretty well, which I guess is good. Not a lot of people can do that.
Hell
so I have to give you some degree of respect for that. But
that's what makes me think that it is like it's two possible scenarios. Either they planned it from the beginning and they are eating off of this because they really do not care, but I do not think Adam doesn't really care. But then it's like you have to be the most mentally tough. Mentally tough is not the word, bro. How social media has been dragging this man through the mud, and if you really didn't want to do it, I'm not sure how a man or anyone could go through that. Like if you in your heart of hearts was not good with it, and you were able to conduct yourself this way, showing the whole world that all of a sudden you with it, bro. The mental strength that takes, that's, like I said before, that's monk-like, right? That's monk-like. Maybe he has convinced himself that he's cool with it. Matter of fact, he enjoys it now. But how do you go from not knowing if you'll be able to take it, not knowing if you can be able to handle it, you're emotional, you're territorial, you don't want to see a girl get key dicks, to now it turns me on. Matter of fact, I want to start to it, bro. Matter of fact, I'm over here applauding this man for BBCing the hell out of my bitch. Like, how do you go from this to that?
Yes, you expected all that before you made the decision to do it, right?
Yeah, I did. And I mean, I've caught a lot of flack because when you first commented on me on the Tucker Carlson show, I left an Instagram comment that said, if he's the top G, I want to be the bottom G. So I do want to extend an invite that if you were ever interested in doing your first ever double penetration scene, that me and Lena, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like,
yo, dude,
would he be a suitable candidate? Would you?
Andrew Tate,
can I tap him in?
I don't know.
That's crazy. It ain't crazy though. That ain't crazy, bro. It's not crazy though. It's not. At this point. It's not crazy, but it's still crazy to see that though. Like, bro, like I don't. It's just a taboo that I'm not familiar with. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that life, bro. Anything for the clout. I'm gonna tap anybody in to smash my girl to get this bread, to get this cheddar. What? You gonna let Trump smash your bitch? You know what I mean? Who else is out there that would love to see pipe your girl up, bro? As long as I'm gonna get clicks and money and views from it, it's cool with me. But if it's really cool with him, then it don't matter. But is he really cool with it? That's the question. And oh my,
Andrew, would you double penetrate her, bro? Would you do that, Andrew? Go ahead. Finish the answer.
All together, is that chill?
There's absolutely 0% chance of that happening. And it's not because LENA is particularly unattractive. It's because she's married to Adam, and I have no interest in degenerate, pointless sex, and I have no interest in making a spectacle of myself or even just involving myself in anything which I deem to be overall haram.
See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about, dog. That was hard. See, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. I wonder how that makes them feel though. But they don't give a damn. That's probably music to his ears at this point to just get shit on like that. But that's real talk though. I'm not interested in degenerate, pointless sex with your bitch. That's what degenerates do, not me, bro. That was definitely a shot.
It's just not something I'd be interested in. There's not a single amount of money on the planet you could pay me to undertake. So
shout out to all who's not doing double penetration because I respect you all so much.
That's hard.
So do you two think you're going to stay together forever?
I mean, if Adam cheats on me again, maybe not. But
I'm not a cheater anymore. I left that in the past.
You don't need to.
It's
Let
like,
you go.
You get a divorce, don't you think people are going to attribute it to this event?
I always think that we're going to be together forever. I mean, we didn't get married a long time ago. We just got married. But it is unfortunate that if, in 10 years, we break up because, let's say he cheated on me, everyone's going to blame it on the fact that I fucked Jason in July of 2023.
I don't think
no one's going to think about anything else.
Nobody's going to be thinking about the fact that we did this in 10 years, which when you're in the middle of the storm and everybody's freaking out on you every day, it's kind of easy to feel like, oh, this is going to define my life going forward. Now, that may be true to some extent.
It absolutely is though, bro. It's absolutely going to define your life for the rest of your life, bro. Right? But this is what you signed up for, bro. It's just crazy to me that people can live in this world though, dog. Like, fuck, LENA, ADAM22. It's just crazy to me that someone could just be that morally fucked up and that addicted to clout and money and fame to just give up everything, dog. Like literally, I would be poor on the damn street.
I don't really think that it's that likely to follow us 10 years into the future. I don't know.
My hope is to be with Adam forever.
That
is what I want.
And again, last thing I want to say is this.
You're like Kim Kardashian on steroids now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may potentially blow this thing up, but Kim Kardashian is popping as she is. Bruh, that sex tape shit follows her everywhere. You know what I mean? She's discredited everywhere. She's never going to be taken serious as a whole because of how she entered into fame, bruh. This is what y'all are getting known for, and it's magnified times 1,000 at this point. So it doesn't matter what good you do from this, how much money you get, how much fame, how much status you get from this. You're going to be known as the cuck that smutted out his corn star girl that he didn't even want to do.
Wait, so Lena, which sex was better? Because you haven't had it. Jason was the first dick you've had, right?
You know what? Let me say something. I find this very uncomfortable to talk about. There's not many things I find uncomfortable, but I just find this uncomfortable to talk about. And the reason is not because, I'm an adult. I know what sex is, of course. I've lived a very varied life. I just feel like, I don't know. We have so many people watching us, and we're just talking about dick and vagina. Don't you think this is below us? I don't know. We're all pretty
you want a
intelligent.
whole podcast with people who are paid for bro? Like, you the one that's on the podcast with them, bro? You sitting here chopping it up with Buddy. You out here trying to save your whole life from the Matrix and stuff, and you wasting time. I'd imagine trying to get clicks and views from this ADAM22 stuff. It's kind of hypocritical to be sitting here complaining about the topic of discussion at hand when literally this is what ADAM22 and LENA the plug are relevant for. Sex. So what else y'all gonna talk about?
Well, we talk about the Matrix and how they're trying to dumb us all down and trying to control all of our minds. And this base instinct talk, I find it very uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable being on this stream. If I was sitting with a woman next to me, the last thing I would talk about is our personal life. I just don't think it's the smart thing to do. And I don't think that it is. I don't have any interest in the personal sex life of any married couple, and I don't want to hear about it, and I don't want to talk about it. And I just find it very uncomfortable. I'm extremely uncomfortable in this situation. That's the truth. And I'm not saying that from a position of weakness. I'm saying it from a position of strength. I don't like talking about these things. I don't like talking about women getting fucked. I don't like talking about what I do with women. I don't like talking about any of it. I think that what I do in the bedroom with a woman who I care about should be to a degree private. Sacred. Private, yeah. And I think it should be completely private. Absolutely. And I don't want to hear about anyone else. I want to make something clear to the I don't watch porn. I've never bought an OnlyFans. I've never paid for sex. My relationship with sex involves love, and I don't think it should happen outside of love. And I think that's the way that sex should operate. And I think that when you decide, and once again, I could be wrong, when you decide to keep sex exclusively for love, there's something beautiful and special about it. And if you decide not to do that, then you keep chasing a new high. And you can have threesomes and fuck a bunch of girls. And I'm not saying I haven't done it, but eventually you're constantly just chasing a new high and you end up just doing something weird. Whereas if you just say, I only have sex with girls I love, then it's always...
They doing it for the clout, though, bro. I like it. He chopping them down, bro. But they don't give a But Tate is chopping their ass down. That was hard.
Special, and it's always pretty sacred, and you get to just enjoy it that way. And beautiful children are birthed, and life goes on.